So it was midnight, December 30th, 2025. I've just finished my shift of the remote work I do and went straight ahead to my second job, which is playing the new season 12 in Project Diablo 2. I needed to figure out what I want to do in the game, so I remember that just wanted to buy the Stone of Jordan ring, but the prices on plus skills rings are pretty high. And I remember from Diablo 2 drop calculator that Andariel has the highest chance of actually dropping SOJ. So I decided to try my luck and to kill Andariel 100 times so you don't have to, and see if I can drop an SOJ. By killing Andariel, I will also loot one of the four essences that allow us to craft a token of absolution that I can use to reset my character. My paladin does not use an enigma, neither I have one, so I'll be just running around using my charge, drinking mana potions, killing elite packs when I see them, but I will not be searching for them as my goal is to find and kill Andariel as fast as possible. Many players don't like running Andariel, and I've never been a fan of it as well, because there are a few reasons. One is being that you still need to get two entrances once you unlock the waypoint on the level 2, and even the map is not as huge as some other examples, but it still can be hard to navigate. The doors, there are many doors located there, and they are all closed most of the time. So unless you have a TP, you need to unlock them, and the rooms can be filled with immune elites that hit pretty hard, and you can get one-shotted, and it's a big pain to go recover your body after that. But that mostly applies to leveling, as once your build is online, you can run it pretty easy. And if you have a TP or just get lucky with finding the entrance quick, you can finish it under 1 minute. First two runs, there were no drops at all, and here on the third run, I was able to drop a pretty decent belt, string of ears. I didn't get the great PDR physical damage reduction roll, only 11% from 10 to 15 roll, but it's still decent and can be used especially early as the level requirement is only 29. Running catacombs and killing Andariel took me anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, depending on my luck finding the entrance, and with some edge cases involving me in scouting the whole map before I could proceed further. On the run number 8, I was able to find a great weapon for the mercenary, for the Act 2 mercenary, the Reaper Stall. Reaper Stall is usually used by all builds who deal physical damage early on because it has a 33% chance to apply amplify damage on striking, and amplify damage takes away about 40% of enemy physical damage resistance. However, the weapon is best with 4 or 5 open sockets, so you can place Shile runes inside of it and get a lot of attack speed to reach your mercenary's IS breakpoint. Breakpoints are sort of an amount of attack speed that actually make an impact and make your mercenary attack quicker. So the uptime of the amplified damage is at its peak. After slamming this Reaper Toll, I got damage to demons and attack rating against demons, which was absolutely useless, so I sold it afterwards. Next few runs, there wasn't anything interesting in particular. I dropped the Trangul Scales, the set armor, which would have been value only if I slammed it to plus skills, and I got 2 sockets instead. And I for sure did not expect this unique ring and unique amulet dropping in the run 13. I was definitely hoping for the Stone of Jordan, but I ended up with a metal grid amulet, which I used previously on my Maul druid build, as it gives a lot of AR attack rating, which is basically defines the chance that you have to strike an enemy. And the ring was Metal Hill, the most commonly dropped unique ring, which is basically trash. The difference between a gambling addict and a rational person is how they see a loss. A gambling addict sees a loss as a near win, while a rational person gets demotivated by loss and stops losing money. For me, Diablo feels kind of similar. When I don't get a drop or I get something barely valuable, I still get that feeling that I was almost there, like I increase my chances of getting something really good the next time. On the 21st run, I dropped my first facet. Facet is a unique jewel that gives skill damage and minus enemy resistance to one of the four elements: fire, cold, lightning, or poison. I got the +4 -4 roll, which is not bad at all, and with 5 being the most expensive ones, costing up to 4.5 5 HR. On the 23rd run, I got Marowaks, a set of boots that give CBF cannot be frozen property, which is very widely used since almost every build has to have it, and in fact my mercenary was already using one. I later corrupted them for +2 life after each kill, which is not a bad corrupt at all, and put them right about 0.25 zero point 0.5 HR. When I dropped this unique ring on the run 26, I was concerned that this is a Stone of Jordan because of the smaller drops I've been getting lately. So this was supposed to be a big one, but I later learned that it was just one of the manual drinks. And on the next run, I've dropped a unique helm, Andariel's Visage, which is the only item in the game that carries a penalty on the resistance, specifically fire. It does give +2 to all skills, and I was very happy when I was able to corrupt it later to +3. For the next few rounds, I didn't drop anything besides this poor lightning facet with the worst rolls. But I do still keep all the jewels I find and review them later. I only keep those that are barely good, and the rest I just cube with a key and get the jewel fragments that later can be used for crafting. And here in run 32 I found Whispering Mirage, a weapon that can definitely used by some assassin builds, but it had very bad rolls. And then came the run 33. I wasn't in particular expecting anything good from it, but I dropped a very useful item, especially for my build. The Seraph's Hymn, an amulet that gives +2 to all skills, but it's not so good until you slam it and get the +3 to all skills. So after I dropped it, I went to slam it ASAP, and I couldn't believe my eyes when it actually was +3 to all skills. So that was so far the luckiest drop and corrupt that I gotten to this point. On the run 43, I dropped Nature's Peace, a great unique ring used for bossing as it increases maximum resistances and gives some physical damage reduction. And I actually happened to find the World Stone chart just a minute ago, so I decided to instantly slam the item and break it, which had a 25% probability to happen. About round 50, I started noticing a big decreasement in the amount and quality of loot that I was getting. Here in the round 53, I was able to get the Crescent Moon amulet that gives +2 to cold skills. And further runs proved that my luck was dead at this point. There were a few uniques, but no good corrupts or anything sellable. So here is a small compilation of Andariel dying without dropping a goddamn thing. And here is actually the footage of the fastest run, run number 85. I was able to complete it for 40 seconds from TP into the waypoint, Catacombs level 2, up until killing Andariel. I didn't drop anything interesting, but at least I was happy as the challenge was getting to its end, and I understood that my chances of actually dropping anything were very low. And I wasn't very disappointed about it because I already dropped two pieces of gear that I could use for myself. and some other gears that I could potentially sell in the future. So it was just getting a little bit too repetitive at this point. And for the last run, number 100, I was for sure expecting something extraordinary, like a Stone of Jordan or something. And I actually ended up with dropping Den Mother, a good Druid helm with 3 sockets. So I went ahead and slammed it, and of course it bricked. So, as for the results of those 100 runs, I was definitely satisfied with the loot I got, since I'm wearing 2 pieces of what I got, the amulet and the helm, both that can sell for a good amount of HR later on if I don't, no longer need them or want to buy something else instead. But of course, it was repetitive, and already after about 80 runs, I get bored of doing it. So let me know in the comments what do you want me to do next. But I must say that I will be indeed ignoring all of the requests asking me to go touch grass outside. So that's out of the question.